Hello everyone, Andy here, and this is the video I was playing Song of Saya, and that is the part 2. Or part 2, part 3. Yeah, that's a part 3. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you want to. Only if you want to. I don't want water. I want juice. This is gonna be a hard post-production. That's all. Feel the contentment. We exchange a smile and send to the task of cleaning the room. A single person cleaning the room, you say. Sure. But speaking of which, a single person produced a lot more meat than expected. Speaking of which, I seem to remember doing something personal before. That's why I think he killed them. I heard the scream. That makes things easier. Fisher, we should go gather the meat from Suzumi's house. That should be enough to hold us for a while. And we can use their refrigerator to store what won't fit in ours. All coming together. I think we can answer this picture. After we finished our labors and get to the bed, I showed Sarah what I found in the other house. It was familiar. I would definitely be there. Whoever Saya has selected is one of the Treachery prefecture situated in the back. The house, right? The trees and mountains? Wow. A little. Outside of my ordeal, I had to depend entirely on my sense of distance to decipher what I saw. The house in front of me, the mountains far behind them, the clouds high above, all in distance and scale told me double word. Photographs and other flat images used to be nearly impossible to make out. Recently, however, I've gotten better at understanding what things are by their shape. I know what the mountains and sky looks like, for instance, and how to tell them apart from the buildings. It was a three pictures shows a similar scene. A lone house in the middle of a thick forest. Retreat. Oh, I'll find this there. Judging by the address on the back of each photo, they probably are excellent places to hide from prying eyes, but why 3? Dates are pretty old, and it seems that they were all taken within a few days of each other. Maybe he was scouting properties, looking for the perfect location for his hideaway. So I recognize only one of the houses. So that might be one that I picked. Checking the location on a road map of Kanto area, I found that it's about 3 hours out of Tokyo by car. What do you think your father? I don't think he's there. He might have stopped by recently. The way I see it, our only hope of finding a guy is to follow whatever leads we have, no matter how small. I have an idea, right? A guy is to escape from Saya, right? Somehow. The probability that his hideout will yield useful information may be low, but it's not 0. Wait a minute. If what would happen if we really found a guy? It's monstrous. I think I'll change the place out tomorrow. Do I have to? Doesn't manage the object. Isn't it far? About half the way to go there. Check it out and come back.
その
After
間
him by himself, very
さや
gone.
も
Little inflation, okay? You only find your father too, don't you?
うん
Brief silence, during which her expression is hard to decipher. That looks out and says,
ね
"Hey, let's
え
forget about that."
パパのことはもういいよ
Huh? Last thing I really just say. Forget about it. But it's your father, ain't worried.
君のお父さんだろ。心配じゃないのか。
いいの
Not anymore.
私には
I have you
も
now.
う文則がいるし
Dude, it's probably not father. It's not father. Whatever.
パパって言っても
Not really my
で
father.
もお父さやのことを
He
教育
taught me
し
a
て
lot
くれ
and
たし
probably loved me in his
あ
own
る
way,
意味で
but you're kind of
は愛
wrong.
してくれてたのかもしれないけど
Jeez, dude. It's not.
でも
Well, maybe you have it, but I also hear the lemons.
本当
Are
に
you really alright with
僕
that?
だけでもいいのか。
Yeah, I don't like being just two of us.
いや、
I do, but it doesn't meet a structural guy. I finally figured out how to blame my feelings. I want to get know you
もっ
better.
とよく知りた
If
い。
there's someone who knows more about you than I do, I have to meet
ぜ
them.
ひ会ってみたい。
Oh. Doesn't seem too upset. Tilts her head quizzically, as though my thoughts are strange to her.
それに、
I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to check it out tomorrow.
やっぱり明日、
Another plan has started to form in my head. Once separated from the search for Dr. Guide, I'll find a doctor there. Great. If I don't, well, I think I'll find another use of mountain retreat.
さや、
I don't want to be lonely, Saya.
寂しいかもし
Try
れ
to
ない。
bear it for a little while.
やっぱり
You really want a family and friends, don't you?
家族
I have that feeling about his gone, right?
もっと
Someone will come
大勢いた
up
方がいいの
and took her away. Almost certainly. Or maybe you can spend time with,
そりゃ、
spend time with.
その方が
Well,
楽しい
that
だろ
would
う
be
ね。
more fun, yeah. Fearing that Saya will start soaking, I hurriedly add.
でも、
But
勘
don't
違い
get
し
me
ないでくれよ
wrong, even if I could have
たとえ
lots
そ
of
ういう人た
friends,
ち
you
に
always
囲
be
まれて
showing
暮らしてたとしても、
ありがとうさやも文則が喜びそうなこと文則のためだけに頑張るからね
Wait, what? Something to make you happy, something just for you. Freaky. Get a call. New camera phone, what do you mean? Curious. We realize that our ringtone is coming from the old phone is bad. It hasn't transferred its contactless yet, and code still comes to the old phone. We will only need your number. Did you use SIM card? Did you move your old SIM card to a new phone? Okay. I mean, well, maybe it's just like writing a number into your phone, that kind of stuff. When he finally fishes the phone from his bag, the names he sees on display don't show at his spine. Fuminori. Why now? What do you want? I'd be happy about a call from Fuminori after the incident at the Guy's house.
はい。
Hello?
いや、コーチ。
We're done with the cluster,
今日
right?
ああ、
Yeah. Of course Fuminori would know that Koji is free on Thursday afternoons.
そうだ
I
な。
need to tell you about something. Can
駐
you
車
come
場
to the
に来て
parking
くれな
lot?
いか。今すぐ。
Now? Yeah, I'll be waiting. Down in the road. Word. What's going on here? What do you want? Sticks. Puts on your jacket pocket. This sudden change is disturbing after we are familiarly avoiding both Koji and Yo. Maybe he is finally ready to talk, in which case, Koji should probably consider this as a good thing. He can't shake feeling off that something's wrong.
待たせたか。
They keep you waiting.
いいや。
Now, the parking lot, Koji finds Minoru leaning against the fender for Koji's support. The last time they met was in the darkness of the abandoned house. This is the first time in over a week that they've spoken face to face in the light. Perhaps that this is why Koji senses something strange in Fuminori's expression. He's not sure what exactly, but something has changed.
前にも話したと思うが、僕は今、
Stop
オ
smiling.
ーガインっていう人についていろいろと調べなきゃならない。
Your smile seems evil. I think I told you before that I'm looking for information on a man named Ogai.
そう
Yeah, I
らしい
got that.
それ
It's starting to get more complicated. It's
こ
starting
こ
to
に
get
来ていろいろと難しくなってき
But it seems more relaxed than before. He used to be tense all the time, like he was terrified or something, but now his expression is calm. He's even wearing that resembles in a sheepish grin.
で、
I need your help,
お前
Koji.
に
Nevertheless, some instinct is telling Koji that family changes are not for better.
一体どう
What's
いう
in
こと
change
に
of
来まし
past?
た
Koji asks, keeping his expression neutral to conceal his suspicion.
だって
You're
お
interested,
前も
aren't you?
関心あるんだ。
Murray responded coolly, his smile unreal as ever, offers no glimpse of his true motives.
お前も僕の後から
You search for Dr.
オーガイ
Ogai's
ン教授の
house
家をい
after
ろい
me.
ろと探し回ってたじゃないか。僕とお前
It's a waste of time for us to look for him
探すなんてどうで
separately.
も
We
ない
should team up.
うん
Why? Why does he sense malice, thick and vicious, lurking behind? Malice, thick and vicious, lurking behind familiar smile. Exactly!
ともかく
I need your car today. Mind driving?
まあ
I guess not.
まあ
Will's car was destroyed in an accident, so Koji is surprised that he needed a lift. Koji lost his current gestures for Will to take the passenger seat and to get behind the wheel and start the engine.
で
Well, where are we going?
栃木の
Close to Toshigi. In Nazi Heights.
栃木
Toshigi?
住所はこれだ。この
You
建
can
物
find
です
this building.
今から出発すれば
If we leave now, we should there by evening, right?
Well.
Yeah, maybe. Koji sighs heavily, tapping the steering wheel as he calms himself down. And he is coming this far. The only thing he can do is see his friend's craziness through to the end.
別荘か
Is it a
何か
vacation home or something?
多分
Probably. But
そ
her
こで
that
オ
should
ーガ
be
イン
there. Koji isn't looking forward to meet her, the owner of that creepy house, but he's even more uneasy about letting Fuminori go alone. It looks like he just has to grin and bear it.
東京
We
に
might not get back until night.
悪
They're
い
having trouble
Isa.
imagining. Eddie drives out of the parking lot, leaving the rest of what he thought to say unspoken. But the smile seems wrong somehow, like an impressionless masked look in the face. Yes. You find yourself sitting alone in the cafeteria, searching for a familiar face as her lunch cools on the table in front of her. She was hoping to see Koji today, but he must other plans. That wouldn't be at all unusual. Normally, Omi and Fuminori would pick up the slack, but Omi and Fuminori aren't there anymore. Yo puts down the chopsticks, her appetite ruined by the lack of company and by the anxiety eating at her. Omi is missing. Fuminori has turned on her, and has no idea why. If Koji were here, she could count on him to distract her with some idle conversation. Now that she is all by herself, Yo becomes keenly aware of how little tolerance she had for her loneliness. She began to feel paranoid, like the whole world is plotting to take from her everything that she cherishes. What is going on here? Where has Omi gone? Is Fuminori really unrelated to her disappearance? Or is she to the mystery as Koji and Dr. Campbell suspect? We're not going to the home, to Fuminori's home, right? You better not. You can die. There recalls the event last Thursday, Elena without an outlet for pain after Fuminori verbally eviscerated her. Oh, okay. He was lucky enough to run into Koji. Although he could probably make her problem go away, his kindness was comfort. At the same time, Omi was on her way to Fuminori's house, and she hasn't been heard from since. Yo had only been aware of Fuminori's connection to Omi's disappearance since yesterday, when Koji revealed the truth during their visit to the hospital. What if a new possibility occurs to them, or why Omi's only decided to live in What if it hadn't been a coincidence that Yo ran into Koji that day? What if Koji and Omi had known what transpired between her and Familia and had decided to act separately? Omi might have seen the confrontation in the courtyard. She might have been eavesdropping. It's not unthinkable. As the idea forms in mind, Yo feels as though something is tearing apart her body from the inside. It's only one possibility of the truth that then whatever happened to Omi is Yo's responsibility too, isn't it? What are you thinking? Come on! Yo clutches her head, groaning in agony. The food on her tray is now cold, now that she would have eaten it anyway. Despite her frustration and anxiety, Yo is unable to act on her own. Never been good at adapting to challenges, and no one would ever call her proactive. She hasn't the slightest idea how to respond to this situation. You're a university student. Come on. If Omi were here, she would probably tell Yo to think positive and trust her instinct. Yo has always depended on her best friend's energy. Now that Omi is gone, Yo realizes how weak and useless she is. She can only sink deeper and deeper into the abyss of self-loathing. Sudden ringing on her phone pulls back the text message. The text says, Omi? Cried out in shock, laughing. What are you doing? What are you? What are you doing? Something suddenly occurs to her. She and Omi have exchanged countless messages over the years, many of which contain that sort of embarrassing confessions that close girlfriends all share. At times when her feelings for familiarity grew too strong to contain, they often put them into words for Omi to read. Did Omi put a password in the phone? Even if she had, the person who sent the message was obviously able to unlock it, which means that whoever is full access to her history. Do you want to know what I mean? There were strange messages. One more time, whoever sent it must believe that Yo has an interest in community. The phone rings again, stalling Yo, but it's really comes in a little strange. There's no silence, there's something on Omi. All tired acting with me, come along, tell no one. It's not Omi. She would never try to scare Yo with such a mean-spirited prank. Anxiety has brought Yo almost to tears. Her mind isn't made to deal with something like this. Who is using Omi's phone and promising to reveal Humanoid's secrets? Who? Kaya. Carol desperately wants advice from Koji, from anyone. She even starts to doubt Koji's self-silent suspicious structure. The center might be somewhere nearby, watching her at this very moment. A cold chill runs down her spine as she looks furtively around the cafeteria. Come loud, I don't want. The lifeless characters on the screen are like a knife against her throat. However, Yo clutches her phone and forces herself on it. Isn't this cowardice exactly what she hates most about herself? Doesn't she want to know what she's capable of? Don't she want to do more than sit and wait? Yo realizes that her hand is shaking. How easy it would be to just give in to her cowardice, to convince herself that Omi and Familia are beyond her reach. That is what she truly wants. Even if it means abandoning dignity and loyalty, she wants to flee from the unknown. But she also knows that even escape is beyond her. Yo understands herself well. She knows that no matter how far she runs, regret and self-loathing will consume her after everything else has fallen apart. In the end, Yo is unable to overcome her cowardice alone. She lacks both the willpower and the courage to run. That's a bit long, that part. Here you came. Avenue sounds somehow forbidding. A stink in the air. The stink of garbage left afterwards. Even this perfectly normal residential neighborhood seems ominous to Yo in current state. She feels like she is standing in the middle of the necropolis, as if everyone in the house around her is dead. Kinda true. Yo pushes her fear aside and presses the buzzer on Segisena's house and front gate. Who's Segisena? He really wasn't in class today. Is he home? He couldn't have to send those awful messages straight. She doesn't ever want to consider the possibility, so she's worried. Off from her mind. There's no response from the intercom. He doesn't know, of course, that Omi stood in the same spot 1 week ago, staring at the sun. Well, standing in the same spot clearly indicates that the same ending is coming to her either. She had the silent intercom with the same confusion that Yo is hearing now. She, however, was not forced to what fate as Omi was. The phone in the party rings on the phone. I'm gonna tap the manager's phone. Come in, the door's open. I'm scary. I'm scared. I'm a scary fuck. Yo looks around quickly, a shiver running through her as she realizes that she is being watched. Searching fearfully for an observer, Yo spots movement out of the corner of her eye. On the second of Segiseka's house. A tightly drawn window couldn't just spot it. But there's a message inside the house. Only now does Yo realize that every other window has its own storm shutters closed. No matter what happens inside, no one will ever know. This time she nearly gives an intense urge to flee, but the terror she feels towards her invisibly watcher is stronger, and will not permit her to turn her back upon the open window. There's nowhere to run. Her blood in tears, unable to take a single step. Phone ringing again, demanding that she enter. She steps to the gate. Fucking god. Wow. Nice color. Read it by yourself, bitches! No, she's dead. It's color. So many colors. Please stop this. What the hell? Yeah! Shut up, bitch! So, her breath continues, the imaginable terror of friends who drive you utterly mad. Watching her, but can't bring yourself to turn around. Full well that seeing this will destroy the last riches of her sanity. From close by, the beat of buttons being pressed. Cheerful electronic noise sound, terribly out of place in this room, and sees the phone in the plan coldly and says it right. She is powerless to stop herself from reading the person on the screen. You are pretty. What's that? Come on, man. God. Yo curled out in a tiny sobbing bowl. Unable to raise her voice or even move. Oh god, please save me. Somehow I understand that it's laughing at her. Wait, what? Tempted familiarly. Trying to steal him from me. Didn't you? Thief. Hey! When he tried to contact you familiarly, you aren't even there. He didn't even know who you are. Dude. Okay, what the fuck? Is she dead? I think she's dead. Fucking bitch. Despair. Monster to top on her. She was only a shiver. Slimy thing covered everybody. Sisters like a piss. That's what toyed with. Never. I don't know. I'm gonna skip that. I won't kill you. Young girl, sweet and sinister, with cruel innocence of a child, gleefully plucking the wings from her life. Instead, I'll share your happiness, rejoice. Yo, we'll love you to death. Her voice stark contrast to the unyielding strength that drives irresistibly into your soul. Pain is sharp and savage, greater than anything she had ever felt before. To be unbearable, but there's no longer enough left of Yo's mind to recognize that in pain. Oh, this is sleeping in her body. Out of the thought flows through her fading consciousness. What's that supposed to mean, dude? Oh, the car now. Car. Begun to snow by the time they pass the Tsunomiya on this Hogu motorway. The roads are snowed out. Passengers' feet familiar gating out of the frosted window in silence, and have been straight for almost an hour now. Taking advantage of his attention, Kitty starts unabashedly asking him if he don't understand danger signals that they've been getting from him. One of that stopped avoiding Koji and was licking him while he talks, so why does he seem even more distant now than he did when he was trying to push the friend away? Only the pushers lucidly relax, but the gaze never wavers. Not even for a moment. It was through it as though he is focused on a clearly defined future that has chosen to bring about. One that has no place for the needs or wants of others. Right now, when it is complete, Koji cannot help but feel that beneath its bland exterior is a core of solid steel that no one can touch. I got on me. Gojo says suddenly, couldn't gauge Nona's reaction. It's been a week since he disappeared, and we still haven't heard of him.
So?
Oh, replies cutly, still staring into the distance. That's not good. I wonder what happened to her. Nona's turn is completely emotionless. Gojo might as well have asked him about the weather or the condition of the mountain roads near the destination. As is before, but you're sure you don't have any idea what happened to her.
Yeah.
Oh, blue. So you don't give a shit. Yeah, that's not true. But there's some emotion. Her sounds hurt. He sounds hurt. Like she can't believe Cody could think such a thing. I disappeared. Where's my place? Of course I'm worried. So the frustration will blow up inside Cody. If possible, he'd like nothing more than to be secret in his head. But he was worried sick about Omi. To have his concern brushed off so coldly would be unbearable, coming from a complete stranger, but from Munoi, who was his best friend. Munoi never used to be this callous. Even if Koji tried to interrogate him, he'd probably never find out what changed him so. If Munoi were still just hiding inside a shell he erected around himself after the accident, Koji might have been able to get some answers out of him. With this sly, evasive Munoi, however, there's nothing Koji can do. Munoi will never reveal his true intentions, not to anyone. All that left then is for Koji to discover the truth on his own. I was going to talk to you about Tsukumo, you know. Well, and smiles bitterly at the mention of Suga's name, perhaps feeling sympathy for pain to Koji, however, it seems like pity. The sort one directs at an ant or a wolf. couldn't know. I didn't know what to say, to be honest. It's been hard to talk to her after what happened. Unbelievable. The feeling for Yo was really this cold that he would have rejected her when she first confessed to him, but he didn't, or at least the familiar before the accident didn't. Once again, Koji can't help but wonder if this man who looks like his friend is really different person who only possesses the memory of Sakisaga's familiar. The snow had stopped falling when they get off the West Flats interchange. This area must already be getting a lot of snow, however, as the nearby mountains are covered in white beneath the trees. By the time they turn off the highway and enters the mountains, road conditions are already bad enough for Cody to regret having forgotten tire chains. Nevertheless, he continues to power his Accord up the precarious slopes with only a road map to guide him. At places like this, an address is enough to pinpoint a location. Stop! Cat stealing fish, dude. Bitch. Motherfucker. Searching for something that matches the photograph. What about a home in a place like this? It's brought him crying eyes. That must be Dr. Ogai chose it. The more he hears about Ogai, the less Koji wants to meet him. The owner is the one who spots the narrow road half hidden in the trees. Trailer an animal trail, overgrown with weeds that are tall and strong enough to withstand the weight of the snow. Is it really a road? Koji stops the car and sticks his head out of the window to stare into the dark forest, but he can't see where the path leads through the tightly packed trees. How does it look to you? He hands Koji the photo, which he compares to the mountain ridges visible beyond the trees. Yeah, it's definitely the right angle. Yeah, let's check it out. The mirror expands as flat as always, but there's a quiet intensity in his voice that leaves no room for argument. Although Koji is worried that his car suspension won't be able to handle the terrain, there's no turning back now. He shifts into the second and starts down a frozen road. Sunset early and high altitude. As the car creeps on the mountain path, Koji catches glimpses through the trees of gradually darkening sky. The forest is completely still, with no sound save for the rumble of the car's engine and clouds of snow and brush beneath its tires. Family is once again staring silently through the front window. In the ominous silence, Koji feels the same faint chill that he has felt when standing before a guy's suburban home. It feels wrong, as though he is traveling deeper and deeper into a world on his own. After some time, a blocky shape suddenly appears in the trees, standing out against the twilight sky. What that's supposed to mean? That fucking sound, dude. Turns off the engine and compares the structure in front of him to the pigeon and a perfect match. Before he can call familiarly, however, his silent friend is already out of the car. Hey! Realizing that it's pointless to follow to him, Koji shakes his head, grabs the flashlight of the glove compartment, and follows familiarly across the snow-covered yard. The photo must not have been taken recently, as the old rundown cabin before them has clearly been left to the mercy of the elements for some time. The front door appears to be locked, which brings him to keep it down with the second thought. Koji just watches, knowing that nothing could stay doesn't matter. Heavy curtains. Thick and sticky. I'm not turning on the flashlight. Wait, what? Started roaming through the cabin without regard for his owner's privacy. Wait a minute. There's no one inside, dude. Found a toilet. The cabin was never used for anything but eating and sleeping. Beneath the darkened sky, the snow itself seems to glow with a cold white. It seems like something of a fairy tale, but to Koji it serves only as an unpleasant reminder that he has stepped outside the reality he knows. As the front porch, the plain wooden door, half bearing the ground, is locked, of course, but Koji seems no reason for restraining it. Surrounding the resistance to Koji's heavy kick, renowned. They don't prefer to leave such a forbidden place of familiar, but it's not like he's no place. Descending in chilly darkness. What the fuck you doing? What the fuck you doing? I'm gonna pee. Go in the toilet. Hopefully not any fucking dead bodies I'm gonna find there. You fucking... Suckers! There turns out to be nothing in the basement but a storage room and a boiler. And thankfully one is isolate mountain cabin. Guys are conservative food have been on since in the days and done like had years and years. Well, guys, mountain has been abandoned in Tokyo. Simple mistaken. Line from the beginning. A whale. Something's in it. Something's in it. I'm not even doing a fucking... Then circle the elements. A whale. Not a pulley. Far from prying life. Treasure told us she didn't dash, however, when she called or traded Dr. Campbell's voicemail. She considered calling back later, but she realized that she would be hard to talk to her with Minori around. Minori would not at all be pleased to learn about that Koji and Yo was Cecilia's doctor. They decided they would do all alone. Thanks for the help yesterday. Explaining that he went into Minori's life and biography. Wow! Great! I go again back to Tokyo. Bye. After hanging up, how's Yo doing? Go down and seen her today. She might be worried. Here's out Yo's number. Signal information. Red distorted noise. Like voice listen. Now that's exactly what they are. A person on the other side is crying. Tsukuba, is that you? Who's there? Response. Is Tsukuba's voice? It's too twisted with agony for Koji to tell. Panic surges through Koji as he realizes that something is terribly wrong. Koji! Koji! Are you Tsukuba? Where are you? Sugar pain moans was not coming through the speaker one by one. I was affected by emotion and now there's something wrong with my body. What happened? Are you alright? The rage was pain. Running on, my skin is melting. My ear just came. Okay, dude. I'm making sense. It feels despair, size. It's hard. I'm wondering what the BGM is right now. Yeah, great. It's horror shit. I mean, annoying. Making sense. It's seriously the harder than I agree. What's happening to you now? 100 kilometers away. On your voice has a hand in and do for them. This is how my fingers are supposed to look. The cops, bitch. I can't let anyone see me like this. It's not really really well let me happy. Is Saya turning her into fucking monsters? This just seems like a fucking, you know, code. To turn that to that, and she can see him? Yeah. That's interesting. I smell something filling her throat. Well, which rings the phone. The reason overwhelmed by an unimaginable horror. There's a lady on the door in hand. What? Seizes Koji's lower jaw with the right hand, cutting off Koji's angry shout. Koji can hardly believe the stranger was smaller than grip. The great mistake was leaning back against the wall. Nothing to grab, familiarly the sailor's arms failing him. Did you just fall into the fucking whale? Terrifying weightless as the world spins before his eyes. Being unaware of what happened, his back strikes something with tremendous force. He thrashes wildly as cold dirty water fills his mouth and freezes him to the core. All of his fingers find the wall of the well as he able to sense the direction of rising water. On his hands and knees in the mud, Koji vomits filthy water out of his lungs. Really? Laughed out at him. You're crazy, dude. Safe. Great. Great. Not remembering a call. Here, I'll return this. Battery pack has been removed, rendering it useless. What the fuck you doing? No joke. Koji is uninjured. He didn't have broken his neck. And it's just because it's not hurt doesn't mean that it's safe. But it goes around inside the well, so it's going to be holding on to it. But mud covered stone offers no purchase. It's obvious that he won't be able to get out without help. If that fall didn't kill you, I'll freeze to death. You have no luck, Oji. You can't be serious. There's a sudden change from his attitude. The smile always seems somehow malevolent. Familiarly hadn't been smiling at Koji, but at the thought of his friend's death. Why? Why? Why you kill me? Why? He got out of revenge. Why kill me? True. We would have wanted Koji to stay out of business, but is that really a motive for murder? Well, I need you dead right now, exactly, but it might become trouble later on. So I figured I might as well take advantage of this remote location too, well. Might as well? You're doing this on a whim? You have heard reason to die? Jeez, dude. What made it so special, Koji? People die for no reason at all. My parents did, and I almost followed him. You're crazy! Come on with your own reason, why don't you? You have plenty of time down there. Jeez, dude. We know he disappears from the view, leaving Koji alone. There's no standing in the house. Motherfucker! Then beyond his doubt, and leaves, as all hope to rescue vanished with him. No one will ever hear him from calling for help from the bottom of his mountain well. Get me out of here. Koji no longer comprehends this further begging for mercy. God or devil will enter him. His only hope is that Fuminori will have a change of heart, praying for a miracle. He keeps calling for what he's saying. Eventually, the sky grows a star at the bottom of the well, so you can no longer make it out of the edge of opening, which has long since the traveler. Hours. Under the stream for as though the sky of silence, reigns to kill him. Where's this? I feel great. Oh, I feel great. Oh my god! I feel great, the same feeling that you get when the last piece of a difficult puzzle slides smoothly into place. I've killed a man and nobody would never know. Nobody will ever know. It's a long way back to civilization, but neither the cold nor the exhaustion can ruin my good mood as I walk alone down the snow-covered mountain road. I was tempted to use Koji's car, but that would have introduced a flaw into the plan. I don't want anyone to connect me to this experience. The plan formed in my mind at the moment I realized how remote the location was. Even if I couldn't find anything to lead me to Dr. Ogai, Its absence would at least prove that the cabin has been utterly abandoned, in which case it would be the perfect spot to take care of the problem. I knew coming all the way out to Treachery wouldn't be a waste of time. I didn't even need to use the meat cleaver hidden under my jacket. I dried well. It's like fate itself provided me with perfect setting. That idiot didn't even realize the danger he was in, and his phone call distracted him enough for me to take him by surprise. Now one of the two people whose regents might have caused trouble for me and Saya has vanished from face to the earth. Now has left to eliminate the other. Yo, I must underestimate her just because she's less aggressive than Koji. Even she should be able to see a connection between the disappearance of her two friends. I suppose I should be thankful that it was Yo to whom Koji was talking on the phone. I reported the location as a third party. I have to track down and eliminate the person too. Haven't she just gave a voicemail to the doctor? Sadly, you don't know that. I'm a little worried about what they were discussing, but judging by how Koji was streaming to the phone, they probably weren't exchanging. Oh, last night I saw a skeleton. It's probably Koji. And when who's it? The doctor. Go to here, check the house, go to the well, and see there's a skeleton inside of these Koji's, right? That makes sense. After walking all night long, I finally reached Natsu Flat Station just as the train started running. Stop showing me this shit. It's only takes an hour to get back to Tokyo on the limited express. It's not enough time to rest, but I'm too worn up for that matter. Besides, I don't want to see wasting time thinking of the way to Chiyo. Maybe the cabin again will be too dangerous. I'm not sure how I get her out there in the first place. I just felt it exploded in her face the other day. I doubt that she'll be as quick to trust me as Cody was, which means that it will be difficult to get her alone. I could just ask Saya for her opinion, but even I have some pride. I want to show her that I'm a man who can take care of business. Suppose that I should just proud of having dealt with Cody, the native threat. The search. I get Dr. Ogai's cabin with a bust, with no trace of his having been there. But I see no reason to be frustrated. Saya isn't all that concerned about the doctor whereabouts, so looking for him is just something inside of my own curiosity. I'm home. It's morning. Welcome home. With her arms around my neck, her smile at least 20% brighter than usual. I'm late. There was a change of plans. It's okay, I'm just done with my preparations too. So I respond to my confusion with a mischievous smile. Again, it's a surprise ready for you. What kind of surprise? It's secret. I'm already tired. Do you want you to take it back first? I don't know how angry I am. I'm gonna start mentioning it. I should grab a quick snack and get a long hot bath first. I thought you'd say that, so I got the bath ready. You must be cold after being out all night. Yeah, sure I am. I'm amazed by Saya's foresight. He has already given me what I want before I want it. Oh, you had a hard time. This is not the other tells that about my adventure. Getting was easier than thought, then Kappa was getting home. He is about as soothing as the sensation of Saya laying back against my chest as he massages the fatigue out of my stiff leg muscles. She cute little collarbone rises each time she squeezes my leg. I can see the soft curve of her breast. Of course. Contentment fills me. I don't even need to sleep. Okay. It's my living room and bedroom. The bathroom depending included that Saya and I find pleasing. entrance of the hallway and touch just in case someone should see inside.
この季
It's
節で
on the
も
mountains, even for
山
winter.
の寒さは尋常じゃないね。夜中あ
I
たり
was
に
afraid
突
I'd
するんじ
freeze
ゃない
to
か
death
と
when it
ヒヤ
got
ヒヤし
dark.
た。
その工事って人
おいおい
Put into a well, remember?
工事は井戸に落としたん
The
だって
wisdom at
な
the bottom. Oh yeah. Laugh?
ああそっか
Laughs? Laugh. Okay.
で
So now this is Suba built right out.
工事が消えたのと僕のことを
I
結び
can't
つけて
think
考
of
えそう
who
だ
can connect me to Cody
So it's a history
after I took care of her. Yeah, fine with that.
うーん
Her shoulder like she didn't go down. I already thought a way to care of her.
それがまだ
This is
任
to
せ
me.
といて
Give it to me.
さや
I
は
didn't take
ね
care of any rape and
海
never
の
dreamed
想像
of
も
as
つ
good
か
as
ない
done.
よ
Really?
さ
I
あ
was ready for now. Bah, make your body cleaning for the scene.
出よ
Come
う
on,
み
me.
のり
There's something to show you.
目をつぶっ
Close
て
your eyes. No idea. It's a wonder I stiffen. Someone here?
目
A
を開けちゃダ
PT.
メ危ないものじゃ
Alright,
ない
there's no danger. Alright. Little by little. And so, only voice in can such listen to me. My eyes are so the bedroom, my ears are so smart.
さあご対面
We sink into the oblivion of sleep. Has been buried alive. His words are silence and coat of the grave. That painful memories as well. Even these are pleasantly one compared to the death that was growing upon it. He dreamed of the mountains. His older brother once took him to the insects with his child, who sealed their caught butterflies and had them back, only to later find themselves holding a bag of dead butterflies. He dreamed of his lover, and it missed her when he'd been only the one to realize that she couldn't hold her liquor. After she had too much of drink, he could have her while he run in the back alley. They toasted each other with canned juice and then down in the dark sea. Diving, what the fuck? What's wrong with me? Of course it's not.
助けてくれ誰か
トノオくん生きてるのかちょっと待ってろすぐに助ける
How's that woman? That's a guy. Is that the doctor? It's joint ache. See you here.
君怪我はない
や
他の誰かを期待したかい ひどいや
You look awful. Drink this.
飲み込まず
I already can think of what will happen. I'm gonna complete it, okay? I'm gonna complete it. No matter what the fuck you think, I'm gonna complete it, okay? Unscrew
スピリタスウォッカ
vodka.
着付け薬によし消毒によし
Is it really Dr. Chambo?
電話をよこしたな行方不明
じゃあつくば
したよ君と一緒でまあ落ち着け
Yeah.
何か
警察そうか
どういう意味
トノオ君
は
うん君いいところに落
Right
ちてく
well,
れたよ
fall down.
ひょうたんから困っ
先生
That's how he told me. I have no idea if this was the last time he came. I came. You've been here before?
私は先に進むが殿君
Better
君
stay
は
here.
ここに残る
一緒に行きます前にお会いした時と随分雰囲気
ここは病院じゃない君は患者じゃない
じゃあこっちが
さあどうだ
何ですか
あの井戸長さは私が使ったロープのほぼ2倍途中
I'm
に
not.
外のどこかにこの輪を引っ掛けてその後ナイフで輪をこうやってここ
先生
ああ君は先坂
Jeez.
他に出口がないとしたら
Steel pipe. Carrying weapon. It's a gun. A gun!
ショットガン
12 gauge gun
12番
shotgun.
口径私
I don't
は
have a
物
permit.
を
How
持
do you
ち
hold it
歩
down?
く資格なんて
It'd
な
be
いし
illegal if I did.
こんな
Any
国
other
で
questions?
改造
そんなもの持ち出して
Kill people.
王外の正体を初めて知った時私は
Model
ただの
citizen.
善良な一般市民だったあの時にこいつがあったの
Had
は
this back then.
私は多分王外をきっちり殺せてい
Killed
た
him.
そうなってればもしかしたら君たち
Why? Jesus,
Dakara.
wow, dude.
これから
In
私
other
が
words,
やること
everything I
は
did
一
from
切
here
合
has
切
a clean mess to the
君
little
とそ
friend
の
I
友
stepped
達
in.
が足を
Remember that, but that's in here, buddy. The light in her left hand and the shotgun in her right. Yoko walks up to the door and then a deep breath. Gets the door open. Holy shit. There's a poignantly feeble sound. The door breaks off the hinges and falls into the room. Dust billows like white smoke from the beam of Philpot's light. The room is large, at least 35 meters square. Two of the floors out of a drainage grate, and there's no mistaking the operating table sitting in the middle of the room, cabinet full of in the mailware, and drugs lying one side of the space, and against the opposite wall stands a writing desk and bookshelf. Even Koji can recognize that much. The mysterious objects cluttering the table and shelves, however, are beyond his comprehension. Mirrors delicately engraved with complex patterns, grotesque statues and masks that must have been left by a race of savages. Tape stripes woven in nauseating arrays of color, crystal bowl and the size of an infant head. What? Anyone fed a hefty price at antique store, it don't for the one thing that they have in common. Every last piece is so loathsome and foul that Cody goes here. Just looking at it, it's as though each was designed for the sole sinister purpose of immortalizing its creator's hatred of the world. Rare-looking books of the sort that he found in Ogai's home are piled here and there, and on one shelf are stacked some scrolls that look to be made of some kind of sheepskin or papyrus. Whatever it is, it's not paper. Finally, there's some indecipherable chalk patterns and symbols filling every available space on the walls. Even the two sliding backboards are covered in strange, unreadable scribblings. Just looking at them is making Cody dizzy.
見るん
Don't
じゃない
look.
いいか
Don't
こ
move.
こから動くのまずいと思ったらすぐに目をそらして自分の靴を見ろ
Such your shoes.
は
There's some kind of machines that can make you then see into your eyes and make you change. That's cool. Little camera and can spray paint. The left hand good shake, switching the camera in the right hand down. hand on the backboard while looking at the camera side and outer screen. After coating, thick layer of paint that moves to the next. Doctor,
レッスン
never look at the strange symbols
妙
or
な
read
図形や
anything
ラ
for
テン語
an
の文
unusual
章と
language
か
like
は
Latin.
機
The
械の
camera
目
to
で記
record
録
them
して
for
おい
later
て
examination, then
後
paint
で
over
注
the
意
roofing.
深くし
Then she mentioned it. How do you realize that she is only looking at the screen for camera, even then only in short glimpses and never directly at any of the drawings? He understands what she's saying, but she doesn't make any sense. What do you have to
ここまで深入り
Now
した
that
な
you've
ら
come this
方
far,
角
you
の
better
ために
shut up
頑
and
張って
listen
聞い
for
て
your own good.
あと
These are
水晶
crystal
球と
balls
か
and
鏡
mirrors are
の谷
dangerous.
も危ない
Anything can happen if you break them. So it's best to cover them with a cloth or paint over them for the time being. Later begins to fear that his doctor might be represented. Despite the burst of energy he received from the vodka, Cody is still exhausted from his night in the well. The fear is affecting his body, making him dizzy and nauseous. Soon the walls are covered in black paint and the stale color is thick with the smell of turpentine.
とりあえず
That should do for now. Oko says in relief, then pulls the empty can aside and put away her video camera. What happened to the old guy? Hmm? Oh, he was over there.
そこ
Chinese style screen setting in one of the corner of the room. He was there. But clinical trust of tense was the immediate sign of obvious. Wait, what? With stopping her examination of the papers on the writing table, Ryoko points nonchalantly to a Chinese-style screen standing in one of the corners of the room. He was there. So she's dead? That's the bone? He sat there across the room on the screen, taking the utmost care not to look at anything. Lodging the chair. Shrunk visibly. A guy's corpse. Barely size child with a business suit hanging in the roof. Empty eye sockets with wide open jaws are filled with darkness. The dark same patterns that surrounded Cody at the bottom of the well. Compared to those gaping voids, the tiny hole in the guy's right temple was almost demure. The revolver that he presumably used to kill himself was still clenched in his dangling right hand. It looks like a child's toy compared to Ryoko's shotgun. Ryoko must have noticed the guy's corpse while she was spray painting the walls, and still she kept working without batting an eyelash. Impressive, though not exactly surprising after what he'd been through. It's getting difficult to remember the last time he spoke to someone sane. But if not for her, Koji reminds him of a bitter smirk. He would have ended up joining the mummified corpse here, and no one would ever have found him. But even son didn't. Pushed himself too hard, as when we can't have it anymore. Fell to the floor, unable to hang on with slipping consciousness. And last thing to see, Ogayashi with gasping eyes and staring at him. That's creepy. We're here now. When he wakes, Cody finds himself lying somewhere dry and soft. A bed is a bed. He thinks of himself and enjoys the moment of dust. Especially after sleeping in cold night all night. There are no lights hanging from the ceiling, but soft warm light lamp fills the room. Simple furnishings on a distance decor. A guy's cabin, but in the bedrooms that he searched for before the well.
お目覚めかい
You're awake. You're sitting in a chair against the wall. His Russian blank, she studies the pile of documents on the table in front of her. She must have brought them up from Ogai's underground lab. Turns the page, got a sandwich in a free hand. The feel of the eating, there's food everywhere. Without looking at the flies, she gestures over the convenience store bag sitting on the nightstand. How did I get here? Cody can imagine a woman, even a woman like Yoko, could have climbed out the wall with him on her back.
あの
There
地
was
下
a
室
steel door behind on the bookshelf
本
down
棚
there.
の裏に
They
開
didn't
かない
care
扉
not
があ
to
って
let
ね
the explanation interfere with her reading or eating. While Bound got open, it led to the boiler room
別荘
underneath
の
the
ボイラー
cabin.
室にベッ
The
ド
other side was hidden
反
with
対
a
側は
thin
薄く
layer
ボ
of
ルタルを
mortar.
隠し部屋に機材を運び
That's
込
how
ん
we
でか
get
ら
most
ドア
of
を
the
塞
supplies
い
down
で
here.
その後は
Once he
家
had
から出
everything
入り
he
して
needed,
た
he could seal it up and use the wall instead. Pretty
そこ
thorough.
までして隠さなきゃならないものがあの部屋にあったんですか
Was there really something in here that needs to be hid?
昔
There
は
used to
ね
be. This is a
そ
lot.
れに
Unfinished her sandwich, Ruko picks up some unsorted papers with her free hands and waves them in the air.
世界中
But
の
all
研究者
sorters
が
want to get
誰
on
もかも
stage
学
at,
会で演
at a
壇に登ってリサイタルを
symposium
やりたがる
and
わけじゃ
show
ない
their
でしょ。
research to the world, you know.
自
Some
分一人が
nutcases
秘
get
密に
their
通
kicks
じ
by
て
learning secrets no one
最後
else
には
knows,
自分のした
and
い
by
ことも
being
秘
buried
密の
with
墓穴
those
にしま
secrets
い
in
込んで
hidden
満足
tombs,
するような
tombs that no
そうい
one
う
will
変
ever
態や。
find. Dinosaur hasn't the slightest idea what the guy's secret might have been. From what Yoko said in that tunnel, however, he can guess that Fuminoe is somehow involved.
文則
What happened to
は
him?
地下の死体と文則と 一体どういう
Well,
関
this
係があるん
has
で
to
す
do with the body down there. Just
先
look
生は
at
一
after.
体何を追い
I'm gonna
今
try
そ
and
れを
find
調
out.
べてるところだよ。私が
This
サキ
has
サカ
told
君
me
から聞
that
い
he
た
was
ところに
acting
よ
on
ると
behalf of one of
彼
the
はオー
guy's
ガイの親
relatives.
族。
え
He told me the same thing.
そ
Oh
う
well.
か、一
At least
貫し
that's
てるんだ。
consistent.
だがオー
Although
ガ
I
イ
have
の
no
血縁者
relatives,
はいない。
I thought that Sagisega was simply lying.
私は
However, there's another possibility I should
もう
have
一つの
considered.
可能性を考え
He might
た。
have been tricked by someone claiming to be a guy's family. You're positive the side of Cody.
サヤという名
Your
前に
name's Sarah ring a bell. I don't know who's that. Who or what is the question? By more I read, less I understand.
読めば読むほどわからなくなっていく。
Signs bitterly. The returns their attention on the purpose of their hand. I can super sure she have the focus of one guy's research.
そうい
If
もし
Sagisega
サキサカ
is
君がこのサヤ
involved
と
with
呼ばれるもの
however
とすでに
Saya,
深く関わって
then
い
he's
る。
already past the point of no
彼
return.
はもう引き返せないところまで踏み込ん
The icy certainly in Ryoko's voice sent a chill down in Cody's mind.
だとした
If so, what did it do to him? He has to ask, even though he already knows the answer. If I
さっき
said,
も言ったよね。
I have no idea how many times I
手
wished
元に
I'd
銃を持
killed
っ
a
てれば
guy
って
when I
ど
had
れ
the
だけ後
chance.
悔しもう二度と後悔するつもりは
I
ない。
wouldn't make the same mistake twice.
俺が警察に
Please,
行
look
けば
all
済む
over.
こと
Police? Still believe police can do shit? Wow.
文則がやったことは殺人未遂です
目撃者は
You got witness? Proof? Where's that the motive?
さきさ
You need to know.
君は
You're
警察
completely
の仕事
misunderstanding
に
what
つ
the
い
police
て
do.
ひどく
Your job
彼
is
ら
to
の
fight for
職業は
justice,
正
or
義
you
を
became
貫
killed
く
safe.
ことでも
What are you saying? Find the little explanation for any of the events. That's what
き
the
ちん
police
と
are
条
for.
理に沿った体裁を整える
They will always choose to believe the simplest, most logical explanation. Like how water always flows downhill. They aren't interested in the truth. They don't know or care that the truth is often stranger than fiction.
そこまで決めつけるこ
Sure,
と
they
な
are
いでしょ
not all like
話
that.
してみなけ
I
れば分か
wouldn't
りま
know
せんよ
until I tried. Exactly.
わからない
That's a problem.
そこが問題
A
だ
sandwich. Jan's very courteous second glance.
君が錯乱した親友の手
Accuse
で
your
井戸
friends
に
of
落とされ
pushing
た
into
と
a
主張
wall.
する
In addition to your statement, the
警
police
察
will
はあと
consider
2つ
two
ばか
other
り真
versions
実
of
の
the
方
truth.
法を用
Maybe
意
you're
する
making it up a friend of your friend, or even smoother, it was an accident. You fell in
事
the well
故
by
で井戸に
yourself. The
落ちた
shock you
君が
made you
錯
paranoid
乱
and
した
delusional.
親友をこの3
These
案の
three
どれかが
possibilities
操作
will
できる
completely
レース
see
で
which
勝ちを
come
競
out
うわ
of
け
the
だ
most convincing evidence.
勝
No
ち馬
one
は
knows
誰
which
に
will be
も
the
わから
winner.
ないこんな博
Are
打
you
に
willing to
君
bet
が
everything
信
you
頼
have
潰す
on
ま
the
でか
truth?
ける
Put it in the response. Can you really explain with cold, clear logic what drew Fuminoe to do what he did? How can he convince anyone else when he doesn't even understand it himself? And here's the bigger problem.
一番の問題は
While you're raising hell with the police, we'll lose our chance to corner Sakisaka.
さ身辺で火の手が上がれ
If
ば
he sees
彼は手
trouble
遅れ
coming,
になる前に
he'll
さっさ
go
と姿
into
をくら
hiding,
ます
and then we'll be right
そう
back
や
at
って
square
ま
one.
た晩
That's why we, well, like, I'm glad that get away. A heavy silence fell among them, with only the sub-rows of pages turning rear-good hands to mark the pages line.
教えてくださいよ先生
Please tell me, Doctor. I'll promise that I'm careful that you determine to take justice in your own hand.
そ
But
こ
that's
ま
what
で
you're
許
a
しを取る
guy.
ことって何なんです
Okay. Do and I run down there. Once again, Ryoko ignores Cody's expression. This time, however, Cody didn't look back down. His eye clearly demands her attention as he pours through documents before her. After some time, Ryoko rearranges the paper in their hand and sets them aside, as though having come to some conclusion. She then turns her chair to face what the fuck.
なあ
Koji, for the first time since he awoke, listen to him. Her heart stirs believes that calmness of her voice. What? You need to get out of this while you still can. There's still a lot of fine hot springs around here. Go relax, and then return to Tokyo until you're ready to forget anything that's ever happened. Forget? Feels like a ring. I'm with my girlfriend, I'm with my best friend, and you're telling me I have to forget about them? Yeah, forget about them. This isn't a suggestion, it's a warning. I'll listen to you, this all now. You'll never see them again, I guarantee it. But let's move on. Kuji shouts. Unable to handle himself. The baby on the phone. From the verbal manager. How many hours ago was that? Do you know how much time had passed since I saved you? How much longer do you think you would have lost it down here if I hadn't? She's her head and clears coldly. It's too late. She's already dead. Didn't expect anyone to be lucky as you. You heartless. I thought of it. That's prepared for that, of course. I hardly expect to find you alive. Ah, yeah. I was arguing with this woman, could you realize? Her values are fundamentally different from his own. Nothing can say will ever move her. Get out of bed, it's not shake your legs. Honestly, half day. I envy your ability to recover so quickly. It's a privilege of you to enjoy a little laugh. I know to watch and see the 4 in the morning, which means that already early evening with locals rescued him. I believe that he survived in that well for almost 2 days. 2 days? What the? Now gaps in his memory have been filled and his sense of time has returned. He realized that it's already Sunday morning. Yoko's right. A lot of time has passed since he spoke to Yo on the phone. Got a sport drink and 2 jelly snacks from the bag of food that Yoko brought, and heads for the door. His legs are still low and steady, but he can compensate for that with sheer willpower. Don't you do what you do? Tokyo. Where you are going? Tsukuba might still be alive, I'm going to save her. Just doesn't live there. Saying the same thing with you. It is imagining Roko is watching go with that cold mocking smile at first. Instead, however, she sighs heavily and rests on her jaw in her hands. Had to wait a little longer. Somewhere in here. Someone in here. Is the answer to what this thing called Saya is. I think you should wait until I figure out and come up with a plan to do with it. I think that since they're already convinced that's what I've done. In truth, Koji is extremely uneasy about going alone. At the same time, however, she knows that he doesn't depend on Ryoko. She has made it clear that she doesn't care about saving lives. Teaming up with her will only make it more difficult to salvage anything out of this nightmare. Tono. Ryoko calls just before the door. You almost got killed once already. Don't let that happen again. She built something. On the table and casually towards the Cody. Oh, casually feels cold. A solid weight through his hand. Gun! There's a menacing shaped cold metal. It's a revolver. It's the same one that was clenched on Guy's skeletal fist. Adds 4 more shots. There's no safety, so put your trigger on fire. There's no safety. How you use it is up to you. Kill yourself. Go to where his usual conscience and reject the dangerous offering. Surely no good can come from the barrel of the gun. You don't even know how to use it, dude. And yet, without knowing it, Koji has already set foot into Roko's world, choosing instinct over reason. He has set this small but deadly weapon and slid it to your pocket. There's no question that Koji intends to save Yo and bring community to answer for his crimes. In the back of his mind, however, he can hear the footsteps of Ronin approaching. Ah, jeez. Instead of tapping the door, Koji shivers as the wind tears in his skin. To his surprise, the outside air is even colder than the mud at the bottom of the well. Perhaps the cramped space mitigated the cold somewhat. If he had been exposed to the chill all night long, he would surely have frozen to death. Koji finds 2 cars parked in the yard. The mini next to his Accord must be Yoko's. Behind the wheel of the chair, he gets some relief from the feeling that his step, however small, back into the world. He sips the sport drink, wetting his parched throat, then washes down some jelly. His stomach rebels at the sudden influx of food after 36 hours on empty, but he managed to force down the urge to vomit. Koji needs the energy, no matter how hard it is. He must regain enough stamina to overcome the challenges ahead. After forcing down as much food as he can handle, Koji leans back in his seat and takes care of a short break. When he begins to feel like himself again, he reaches into the back seat and pulls a spare cell phone out of his bag. He never expected that carrying 2 phones would be such a stroke of luck. As he calls over familiar numbers and prepares to hit send, Koji is overcome by a flood of emotion. Rage, despair, or pity. He is unable to decide what feels towards his friend. However, there's no time to dwell on his past. Every second lost diminished the chance of saving Omi and Yo. Koji refused to consider that it may already be too late. He steels himself and presses the button, then holds up the phone to his ear as it rings. The shrill sound seems to go for longer than another night. Right now, Fumi's phone must be displaying the name of the caller. Koji wonders what reaction will be when he sees it. The call goes through.